You said your neighbor said he would be the first American Pope, and what did you guys say when you heard that?
Well, we just laughed because he was 6, so I was 7. Who knows what some lady is saying, you know? You just find that interesting, but it stuck with me all this time. And then as he became a priest, and then a bishop, and then a cardinal, I thought maybe this is going to happen.
And did your parents hear this too? Did other people hear that the neighbor saying he would one day be a pope?
Yes.
And
well, even if they didn't hear her say that, I certainly went home and said, you know what, Mrs. So I don't want to mention the name. You know what she said? So they know what was said, yes.
And the reaction from other family members?
I think it was just children talking. You know, who's going to take something like that for real? Who's going to believe a 6-year-old kid knows something like that, and the neighbor can see something in it? Someone saw something at that time.
And now here we are, so you might say almost full circle, more than 60 years later, he is Pope. What do you think now when you think back of that memory,
Some things, the Holy Spirit is moving somebody and moved him, and something's going on that hopefully is positive for the church.
Do you think that this new Pope will actually help UFO enthusiasts and others gain access to whatever secrets lie beneath the Vatican?
I do believe so, yes. I believe that he has a history, as did Leo XIII. That preceded him, actually in trying to establish the relationship between the cutting edge of science and the most profound fundamental theological concepts of a metaphysical dimension that is not accessible by most people. That's the key to this man. He is a person who wants to bring together science and theology to be able to bring the Catholic Church into the 21st century so we can begin to adjust the institutions of our planet to cope with the reality that there's an extraterrestrial, non-human civilization that surrounds us, and the fact that they've been coming and going from our planet at least since the detonation of the first nuclear explosion in 1945. So I think that he is going to be the disclosure Pope. The church has a fundamental responsibility to be the ushers in of a perception of our relationship to the universe, in our human consciousness to the evolution of our species. So I believe that the church is going to play a major role in doing this, and they've issued a statement back in November of 2009 stating that in light of the fact that we've now got these new spaceborne telescopes and they're discovering more and more of these new exoplanets, it's now clear, as they said, that much sooner than we had previously anticipated, we're going to discover that life exists elsewhere in the universe. And therefore, the time has arrived for the beginning of that all-important conversation about the profound philosophical and theological questions that are posed to our human family by the discovery of life elsewhere in the universe. That's the moment that we have reached now, and this will be the Pope who governs the largest single denomination on our planet of 1.4 billion people to usher in this larger reality and integrate it with our sense of ourselves in the universe.
Want to hear something terrifying? The Prophecy of the Popes.
Oh boy.
This book was found in the Vatican archives, predicted every single pope from in 1143 all the way to our current pope. But the scary thing is, after Pope Francis, the last one, it just says Judgment Day.
Oh gosh.
It literally ends after Pope Francis?
Yes, the creepiest thing that I saw inside St. Paul's Basilica, bordering the whole inner sanctuary, is every single pope. But what's weird is that there's only a certain amount of markers to where you can put a picture. There's one left after Pope Francis. They have always said that once that last slot is filled, it will be the end of the world. What he predicted, the time it took to go from the first pope that he wrote about, halfway mark, was 422 years. And he's saying from the middle one to the end, another 422 years will be the end of the world. If you do 422 years from the middle pope, which was 1585, that year is 2027.
Dang!
It's even weirder. Pope John the 23rd, and he said that the end of the world would happen 2,000 years plus Christ's life. So that adds up to 2027 as well.
Great to have you with us. I'm Joe Donlin.
And I'm Marie Saavedra. Thank you for joining us on this historic day. For the first time in the 2,000-year history of the Catholic Church, an American has been elected to serve as Pope.
It's totally unreal, totally surreal.
A brother's joy and love on full display. John Prevost can't stop smiling today, like many in the Windy City.
I said, did you watch the movie Conclave so you know how to behave? And he had just finished watching the movie Conclave.
The first American pope in the church's history just happens to have ties to the Windy City.
We were just kids on a block of kids, you know. The interesting thing is, way back when he was kindergarten or first grade, there was a parent, a mom across the street, and one across the street that way and one down the street. Both of them said he would be the first American pope at that age.
In 8th grade, Pope Leo XIV attended the Augustina Seminary in Holland, Michigan, then went to Villanova University. After that, he became provincial with the Augustinians and spent much of his life in Peru doing missionary work.
I think his many years in South America as a missionary, he got to see the other side of the world, the poor and impoverished, and I think as Christians, isn't that what we're supposed to do, is look out for that group of people that are forgotten.
The new pope became a bishop in 2015 and cardinal in 2023, a close friend of former Pope Francis, meeting when he was in Argentina and Leo was in Peru.
It is a tremendous honor, tremendously proud.
John Prevost says it's all still sinking in, and his answer on if his brother had hoped for this honor might surprise you.
Did he want this? Not at all.
Really?
Yeah.
And why?
The responsibility. It's heavy. It's heavy on your shoulders. And I think being the first one from North America, being the first one American, people are going to be watching.
John and his brother are planning to fly to Rome tomorrow.
The family grew up, as Marie said, in Dalton. John says the boys were raised in a traditional Catholic household. All three were altar boys, but Robert always aspired to be a priest. At the age of 6, he could recite the prayers in Latin. John says Robert's first grade teacher predicted he would one day be Pope.
You hear the name and you do say, think, feel what?
Shock, disbelief, a whole lot of pride, a whole lot of, is this for real? Now what are we going to do? That kind of stuff. Because this is an awesome responsibility that we have to live up to, that he has to live up to. People are going to be watching him from now on, closer than ever, and maybe us too, the family.
There are all kinds of people, including Jay Stratton, who was the head of the Advanced Weapons Special Access Program inside the Pentagon, who has been in charge of trying to develop a weapon system out of the technology that's being recovered from these craft, so that our government can establish full-spectrum military dominance over the planet. So this is something that has to be addressed. This is not a legitimate objective of our national security to engage in that. And we have to be able to reach out and establish treaties with the other nation states, including Russia and China, in India and other major players, in all the NATO countries, to establish a treaty whereby we will all agree not to use any of this technology recovered from these craft for a weapon system. This is a critical thing that needs to be done. That's why our New Paradigm Institute in Washington, D.C. is dedicated not only to securing full disclosure of what our government knows about it,